In this video, I'm gonna show you how to close trials into $200 plus per month memberships with ease. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Adam Lodi and I'm the CEO of Kin Creative. I'm a 3rd Dan black belt in Taekwondo and a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. My family lost our martial arts school during the pandemic, and since then, I helped them recover it and scale past $100,000 per month. In that time span, I've helped over 300 martial arts schools across US, Canada, and Australia. I've spent millions on ads and over 20,000 hours of my own time figuring out the best way to scale martial arts schools. To date, we've generated over $10 million in revenue for our partners. Now that I got your attention, let's talk about how to make you more money. Now take out a pen and a notepad because I'm gonna go through a lot in this video. So, here's my 4-step process for turning trials into high-paying memberships. Step 1, the pre-frame. So the pre-frame is all about getting your prospects in a state of mind where they're ready to buy when they come in for your trial. So the first thing that you want to do is qualify prospects, right? We call it killing the zombies, right? So if there's specific objections that you typically get, oh, I need to talk to my wife or husband, right? Or, oh, I need to think about it, or I don't work right now, I can't afford the memberships, right? You want to kill those zombies ahead of time. So what you can do, for example, is when you call people leading up to their trials, you can say, hey, can you please make sure that your spouse is there for the trial class, right? And now that mitigates people saying, oh, I need to talk to my wife or husband when they come in. Or if you're noticing a lot of people who are coming in for your trials who just generally don't have the money, then in the confirmation calls or right after people book, you can say, hey, just to let you know, we like to be transparent with potential students of our school. Our membership, the investment for our membership tuition, notice how I worded that, starts at $200 per month. If you see the value in our program, do you have the ability to invest in your child's future at ABC Martial Arts? Right? Great way to phrase it. Now, doing that, now you're mitigating people who don't have a job or who come in just for a freebie and never could have afforded the trial. Now, the next thing you want to do when it comes to the pre-frame is you want to send people content leading up to their trial. So if you think about it, a lot of people, the only interaction they've had with your business up until this point is they're scrolling on social media, they see an ad, it piques their interest, they see the offer, they click the ad, they sign up, and that's pretty much it, right? But a lot of people, because they haven't had much interaction with your business, it's easy for them to forget about it leading up to their trial, and that's why you deal with a lot of people not showing up. The other thing to think about is going to a martial arts school for the average person is a nerve-wracking experience. They have no idea what to expect, they don't know what's gonna happen. So you wanna make them feel comfortable and give them as much information as possible leading up to their trial. So some examples of this is the day before their trial, you can send them a personalized video, right? So what I'd recommend, start the video outside your school. Hey, this is Adam from ABC Martial Arts. I'm so excited to see you for your trial today. I just wanted to, tomorrow, I just wanted to show you, where you're gonna be coming in and some, more stuff with our school. So this is a door you're gonna be entering in. When you walk in, our staff member, Jessica, will be, greeting you, and Jessica, oh, hi, she's waving. You're gonna put your shoes right there, and then you're gonna be sitting there, and your child's gonna be doing their class right there. Now, just a heads up, please arrive 10 minutes early, bring a water bottle, and make sure your child's dressed in comfortable clothing. We're so excited to see you tomorrow, right? Perfect example. Now, imagine every other martial arts school, every other business in general that these parents book at, they're just seeing generic automations. Hey, your appointment's at this date, this time. Meanwhile, they get a personalized video from you. It makes you stand apart from everyone else, and it makes them excited for their first class. Other things you can do, send them a selfie the day of with your sign in the background and be like, hey, I'm so excited to see you guys today. The other thing you can do, add in the ethical bribe. So send them a selfie with a t-shirt and be like, hey, so excited to see you for Johnny's trial class today. I'm sending a t-shirt aside for him. What size is he? And that'll immediately increase your show rates. Other things you can do, you can send frequently asked questions ahead of time. You can send an image of your class schedule. You can send a video breaking down what actually happens in the trial class. You can send a video of your story and how long you guys have been around, how many lives you've changed, the prestigious universities that students at your martial arts school went to. And all of this content that you're sending to them leading up to their trial classes establishes you as an expert. It makes them excited for their trial class. It makes them feel more comfortable. And not only will your show rates rise, but the chances of people actually purchasing a membership by the end of the first class will be significantly higher. Step 2 is the pre-trial, right? So what do you do to actually get ready for trials to come in? Number 1, of course, you want to make sure you have a clean facility, right? No clutter in the backgrounds. Make sure the mats are mopped. All the instructors are dressed nice. Everyone is good to go. Number 2 is make sure that you actually write down the trial's name somewhere. So at my family school, we'll do it on a whiteboard. We'll just write welcome and then the trial's names. You can also print out a piece of paper with like welcome and their name on it. I know Brandon Beliso does that at One Martial Arts. But when people walk in and they see welcome and their name right off the bat, it just makes them feel, it makes them feel good. It makes them feel comfortable. The next thing you want to do is have a welcome package. So at my family school, we used to do this years ago, and for whatever reason we stopped doing it, but we just started implementing it again, and it's boosted our closing rates a lot, is having a welcome package that you hand people upon coming in. So the welcome package, it can be like a pamphlet or something like that with your logo on it. And you basically want to have a piece of paper with more information about your school, how long you guys have been around, lives you've changed, etc. You can have a piece of paper with the life skills that their children are going to learn: focus, respect, confidence, etc. You can have a piece of paper with your class schedule, so they know if they enroll, what classes they can choose. And then you can have a piece of paper with your membership tuitions, right? And when you hand that to parents at the beginning of their trial, while their children are in class, they're going to be reviewing a lot of this information, and then they're probably going to come up to you midway through the class or at some point, and now you have time to discuss with them, so you're not in a rush right at the end of the trial, right? And then lastly, you want to make sure that you prep your instructors ahead of time on who's coming in, right, for what classes and what are their pain points, right? Maybe one kid's getting bullied right now. Maybe one kid, the parent wants them to boost their confidence, right? Maybe one kid's causing a lot of ruckus at home. But giving your instructors all that context ahead of time so that they can make sure that they have all the information they need to knock it out of the park. Step 3 is the actual trial class. So from the moment people walk through the doors, you want to make sure that you're greeting them right away and getting them excited. So make sure you're high energy, greet the parent, introduce yourself, greet the child, give them a high five, pump them up, right? And then from there, you can take them on a tour of your school. So show them where your change rooms are, where your washrooms are, where they can put their shoes, where the parents will be sitting, where the child will go in for class. Next, you can hand them your welcome package. You don't have to go through your entire welcome package. Just open it and be like, hey, so we have some more information about our school here, life skills your child will be learning, our class schedule, and our membership tuitions. You can feel free to review that while your child is in class. After that, you want to introduce their child to another kid their age who's already in your program. And you can have 5 kids that are assigned to being buddies for new trials coming in. And that way, it makes the new kids feel a lot more comfortable when they're coming into class. And the person your student who's assigned to the new trial can kind of stick with them throughout the class and help them out. From there, you pass them on to the instructor. Of course, make sure the instructor is high energy, pumping up the kid right away, making sure the kid's really excited. And then with the parent, you can pre-frame how the class will go. So I usually say something like, hey, so typically how this goes is the first complimentary class is an assessment. So we're just assessing your child to make sure they're a good fit for our program. Now, should we feel that they're a good fit, at the end of the first class, at the end of their class, we'll invite you to enroll them in our program, right? And now you're kind of changing the frame from them trying it out and seeing if they like it to, no, like we don't just accept anyone here. We're gonna be assessing your child to make sure they're a good fit. And now they're eager waiting on you for by the end of the class to see if their child is a good fit for the program. Now, it helps with the sales, right? And just framing yourself in a certain type of way. But it's also genuine, right? Because maybe there's a child who comes in who's just not a good fit for your program, or who's too young, or who wouldn't be a good culture fit for your school. So you can also weed those people out so they don't end up enrolling in your program and disturbing your culture at your school. Now, next, let's talk about the actual trial class, right? So it looks different depending on the martial art you're teaching. I can talk to you guys from the perspective of Taekwondo because that's what I grew up doing. But when it comes to Taekwondo, right, what we would do is we would start with the warm-ups, so 5 minutes or so, maybe 10 minutes. After the warm-ups, we do fun kicking techniques because kids love that. And then after that, we would go over some bully defense, right? Because a lot of families who come in, they want their kids to learn safety skills. A lot of kids are getting bullied, right? So we would show them a little preview of that. And then at the end of class, what we would do that would always seal the deal is we'd make sure the kids break a board. And as soon as the kids break a board, they're so excited and they're begging their parents to sign up at the end of class. Now, if you do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, for example, I don't know what that looked like. Maybe you have the kids like hip toss another kid or the instructor while everyone cheers them on, right? And you make it this big deal. But you need to make sure that you're selling the kid during that class. Like the way I think about it is I want the kids to feel like how they feel when they go to a toy store, right? Like when kids go to the toy store and they're begging their mom, hey, please, can I get this Lego? Please, mom, please. You want them to be exactly like that when it comes to your martial arts school. Because every parent, what do they want to see? They want to see their kids happy, right? So if their kids are, begging them and you have an offer good enough, they're gonna sign up 9 times out of 10. Now, during the trial class, midway through, you want to go and check in with the parent. So usually what I'll do is I'll just say, hey, and I'll reassure them. I'll be like, hey, he's doing great in the program. We'll wait to hear from the instructor at the end of the class, but I do think he'll be a great fit for the program. And I'll be like, so what do you think? Right, and they'll talk about, oh yeah, it's great, blah, blah, blah. I'll be like, awesome. Well, I know you've been looking through our welcome package. Do you have any questions about our memberships? And they're almost always gonna have questions, right? Oh, I'm looking at this one, but I don't know. Now from here, what I'll do is, I'll review our memberships. And pro tip, I would have 2, max 3. Do a 2-day week and a 3-day week is usually good enough. And what I do here is I say, okay, well, you have our Plus membership, which is, it gives you 3 classes per week and includes the gi, the martial arts uniform, which you see over there. The tuition for the enrollment fee for this membership is $200, and then we charge $125 bi-weekly, right? I charge bi-weekly, by the way, versus monthly, because you actually make about 8% more every year, and it doesn't sound like as high of an upfront cost. And then I'll show them the lower price membership. So it's price anchoring. You start with a higher price where they're like, oh wow, that's a larger price. And then you show them the lower price and you're like, and then we have our core membership. It gives you 2 classes per week. It also includes a gi, the martial arts uniform. That's also a $200 enrollment fee. And our membership tuition is only $99 bi-weekly. And now here is where you'll really seal the deal. So I'll be like, look, you could start with the Plus membership, but to be honest, whatever their first name is, Johnny doesn't really need that membership right now. I would save the money and start with our core membership. 2 classes a week is good enough for him off the bat, right? And now they're like, oh wow, he's not trying to sell me on the higher price thing. He's actually recommending me to start on the lower price membership. It builds that trust, right? And then here is where you really, really seal the deal. So you say, and by the way, the $200 enrollment fee, includes the gi that I pointed out over there. We do have a promotion going on at the moment. If you do sign up, enroll, if we feel like Johnny's a good fit and you enroll him before he leaves, or you guys leave, we'll actually waive that enrollment fee. So you'll save that entire $200 if you enroll today, and it's only gonna be $99 for you guys to enroll. And people are like, oh wow, really? And like, you wanna make that enrollment fee big, throw in the uniform, throw in a t-shirt if you want. It should be anywhere from $100 on the low end to like $200. And the bigger it is, the bigger the deal people feel like they're getting if they sign up on the spot. And That's what's gonna get people to sign up right away. Then people are like, okay, well, let me know how things go at the end of the class. So and yeah, that sounds great. I think we'll definitely sign them up, and they'll be talking over with the spouses and all that sort of stuff. And then we transition to the last part of the trial, which is a post-trial where you actually get them enrolled, right? So after the class, have the instructor walk the child to you and the parent, and then basically just reinforce, hey, you did a great job in class today. I'd love to have him a part of our program. He's definitely a good fit, right? And then from there, the parent will be feeling good. And then you make the transition to the close. And you'd be like, yeah, well, look, it seems like a good fit. Johnny, what do you think? And the kids, oh yeah, I love it, I wanna do it. Okay, awesome. Well, hey, why don't we get Johnny enrolled right now, and we can get him sized for his uniform, right? And when you say it like that, most people are like, all right, yeah, let's do it. Versus saying, oh, so do you wanna sign up? Like, it's kind of like awkward, right? It doesn't really portray like confidence or any conviction. So you wanna talk in a way where they're gonna sign up. The child just had a great class, they have a great offer, why wouldn't they sign up, right? So let's get Johnny sized for his uniform, right? You say something like that and they're like, okay, yeah, let's do it, right? You get their child sized for the uniform, you sign them up, blah, blah, blah. Now, if they don't sign up here, they're going to present you with an objection. Oh, I need to think about it, right? Or, oh, I'm not sure. Now, you want to make sure that you dive into their objection without coming off very salesy, right? So, just out of curiosity, what is it that you need to think about, right? Oh, I'm just not sure. I don't know if he's going to want to commit to it right now. It seems like a lot. And now you can start to handle the objection in a very chill way. Hey, well, I don't know if you know this, but most martial arts schools that you enroll at, they actually have contracts where they're gonna keep you trapped for 6 months, for a year. Here at ABC Martial Arts, we don't have any contracts at all. Everything here is month to month. So worst case scenario, if it's not a good fit, you don't really have anything to lose, right? But it seems like, Johnny had a great time in class today, and I really do wanna get you those $200 in savings. So how about we, get him sized to his uniform, we can get him enrolled, and we can see how he does in the program. And then you're asking for the sale again, right? And now most people will be like, okay, sure. Or they'll present you with another objection. Now look, you don't want to go too deep into this and just come off super salesy. It's all about your tone of voice and coming at it from the perspective of like, hey, I'm on the same team as you. I'm just trying to help you out. And for your perspective, I know you might be hearing this and some of you may think, oh, that's a bit harsh or salesy. Here's how I think about it. If some people have the highest chance of enrolling if they sign up on the first day right after the first class, because that's when they're the most excited. And aside from the whole sales, oh, I close them on a membership, think about it this way. You know firsthand the benefits that martial arts has for people's lives, right? So you will have the highest chance of being able to change that child's life for the better, helping them with their life skills, living a happier, healthier, more successful future if they enroll on this spot. So you need to carry that conviction with you when you're speaking with them. It's not some slimy sales thing. You are helping them change their lives for the better. Martial arts has so many great benefits, and I don't need to expand on that. You guys know that firsthand. So that's a perspective I think about it from when enrolling people on the first class, and that conviction, that transfer of belief helps close people. Now, look, with all that being said, worst case scenario, if someone is adamant about not signing up on the spot, that's okay. Just say, hey, no worries. Why don't we do this? Before you guys leave, let's book them in. We don't typically do this, you can frame it like that, but I'm open to getting them booked in for another trial class. That way you have some time to think about it or talk it over, and then they can come in for another class and see how it goes, right? And you get them booked before they leave, because if you don't, it's gonna be tough chasing them down. It's gonna take a lot of time and work to get them rebooked. And then from there, whether they sign up or don't sign up, just send them a message at the end of the night, just saying, hey, it was so great meeting you guys today. Look forward to having him a part of the program, blah, 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 just to kind of seal the deal. Some people with your first day promotion will say, oh, well, can I just come back tomorrow? You have to be strict on I'm sorry, but the promotion is we only do it for people who enroll on the first day. Wouldn't it be fair to others if we expanded it, right? A lot of people will try to wiggle through it, but you just got to say, hey, this is our promotion going on, right? And people will sign up on the first day. All right, so that's basically the 4-step trial process to take people from booking classes to closing them onto high ticket memberships. Before we finish off today, I'm gonna give you some general tips that I would do and that I do with my family schools to make this whole process easier. So number one, like I mentioned earlier, make sure you're charging bi-weekly versus monthly because it's a lower barrier of entry. It doesn't sound as big, saying $99 bi-weekly versus $200 per month, right? And you actually make a little bit more because there's a couple months with extra weeks. Number two, have 2 to 3 membership options. So what I would do is have a 2-day a week and a 3-day a week. And if you really want to, you can do a 1-day a week. Personally, I'm not a big fan of 1-day a weeks because the kids just aren't gonna get much out of it. Number 3 is have an incentive offer. So your incentive offer is gonna be the way you close people on the spot, right? I'll tell you guys a really quick story. I had a client, Maryland's Best Karate. Their closing rate was about 23% in May. And they had like a $200 enrollment fee plus a $250 tuition for the first month. And I'm like, guys, that's way too much. The only thing I told them is waive the enrollment fee if people enroll on the first day. And their closing rate went from 23% to 77% in June, right? So if you do anything, if you take one thing away from this video, please make sure you have an enrollment offer in place. Like I mentioned earlier, at least $100 to $200, which includes the uniform, throw in a couple other things too, and that's gonna help you close way more sales on the spot. Next is, like I mentioned earlier, have the welcome package. It just really helps with the sales and helps parents process the information while their children is in class. And if you don't have it and you present the membership prices at the end of the class, sometimes it's a little bit awkward because people are in a rush, they have places to be, and it takes a lot longer for them to process and make a decision. Whereas if you hand it to them at the beginning of the class, they can go through your membership prices, your schedule, and they have 30, 45 minutes to really process everything and make an informed decision on moving forward. And make sure you have daily sales trainings with your staff, right? So think about it this way, right? I'm sure a lot of you have competed in tournaments before. You don't just show up to a tournament with no training at all and expect to get first place, right? It's the same thing when it comes to trial classes. You can't just have your team, show up to a trial class and expect to close everyone on the spot with no training. Every single day, at some point, do like a 15-30 minute mock training where you go over scripting the close, where you go over like the pre-trial, where you go over like the actual trial class. And getting those reps in before people actually come in for their trials will make sure that your staff is more aligned, you guys can work out your kinks, and the more reps you put in with anything in life, the better you're gonna get at it. On that topic too, at the end of every night, after trials, talk to your staff and say, hey, what do you guys think went well and what do you think could be better, right? Whatever you did well, double down on it, and whatever could be better, in your staff training the next day, talk about, actually work on what systems you need to put in place or what you need to refine to make that happen. And that leads me to my final point. Make sure your facility is nice. Kind of goes without being said, but look, if you want to command $200 plus per month memberships or $99 bi-weekly, make sure you have a nice facility. You can't charge huge membership prices when your school looks run down, right? So make sure you actually have a nice facility. And there's things that you can do that are pretty cost effective to make your facility look much nicer. Like for example, just changing the paint color to make it look more modern and brighter, or adding in some art throughout your facility, or adding in plants, right? Or even decluttering your facility so it looks a lot more simple and minimalistic, right? There's little changes you can make to make a huge improvement in how nice your facility looks. And when your facility looks nicer, it's just gonna help you close those sales. So look guys, I know that was a ton of information. I wanted to provide you with as much value as possible today. I hope you guys loved that video. If you did, please like it, leave me a comment with what your main takeaway was, and I'll see you guys in the next one.